I'm gonna do these things in the '90s in two parts about the slam dunk contest because they were like two different eras of how I looked at it. It was still creative as all get up, but let me start back in '90, and this is strictly off the memory. No video footage needed. Because I still remember where I was. I was in Hampton, Virginia. Me and my homeboy were big Dominique Wilkins fans. Neek. When Neek had the box, top, everything. So did Kenny the Jet Smith. And I think Kenny was playing for Sacramento. Anyway, the slam dunk contest. And you know Neek got robbed in 88 by Jordan in Chicago. We ain't going to come out of Chicago without that dub. I'm always say that. They threw down, but Neek won it. It was close, but he won. But anyway, as they always do with everything, this was a makeup call because the truth is Kenny the Jet Smith beat him in the dunk contest. I watched it, and even though I'm a huge Neek fan, just keep it 100. He got him, but it's politics and everything because it sells more papers. Maybe that's why Kenny, in part, got the show on TNT. I say it in part. He is intelligent and capable, but I think it's kind of like a little token gesture too. With winning with the Rockets, 2 chips, but had to have a nod to him because he clearly, to me, he was more creative than Neek. I'd seen Neek do his best. I think Neek won that night. I didn't think it. See, this is when you could actually debate the slam dunk contest because you cared about it. You was looking at it all kind of like, this a makeup call for 88? That's what it felt like. So that's kind of how I went with that one. I just thought it was kind of like, uh, I was kind of like indifferent with it. So I was like, that's how they did it. That's what that was about. This was a makeup for 88. So, you know. And I think they knew bringing him back, they had to give it to him. Just saying. That's kind of how it felt. So that was the one for that. Then we get to the next year. D Brown won for the Celtics. And the funny thing is, see, this is how influential TV was. Again, the '90s is the last year before the superhighway took over with AOL and Yahoo and all that. We weren't as computer nowhere close. Still depending on the eyeball test. Still depending on what we see, what we saw. And one of the things was at the shoes. Well, if any athlete came along in the slam dunk contest of basketball that really made the shoes a focal point, it was D Brown. Because when he tried to pump up his shoes, so many cats ran with that antic and that gimmick. I remember playing pickup ball back then, and cats was actually doing the D Brown. Now no one remembers his game. They remember his box top, but they remember him pumping his shoes up. That was something that was noticeable.